In this video demonstration, I'm going to cover a few preventive maintenance options. I'll go to the main PM update screen. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at a couple of different formats we can use for PM task lists. So to start with, I'm going to filter, and it's not necessary to filter to change the format, but I'm just going to do that just so we can kind of limit what's in the report. So I filtered for this piece of equipment. Now if I want to look at a different format of the PM, I go to Options, PM List Format. Currently I have Compact selected. I have some other formats here. This would be the default, and Details and Parts List would show you the most. And we have a few others. Okay, so let's try the Compact that's already checked. So if I go File, Print, Assign PM Lists, I end up with a somewhat compact report. It's pretty much assigned out by the person, and then each equipment item along with the task of the interval and just the bare minimum information. There's no details here, no parts list. But this might be good for a simple walk-around checklist or something of that type. Okay, so let's go to the other end of the spectrum here as far as the PM list formats go. In this case, I'll pick Details and Parts. Printing the same menu item. You can see we've got more information on this for each task. So this one gives you the equipment as a header, and then the short task description and the other basic information as was found on the Compact. But you also have a parts list and then unlimited detailed instructions. And this one also has sequence that you can use optionally. Okay, so how would we link parts to this? Well, let's try it. Let's try to link a part to this check blower oil level. We'll say whenever we do this, we use some oil, for example. So I'm going to go up to the Options menu, Parts Usage, Manage Parts Usage Links. And I get another screen that pops up. Click New, and I'll link this to a default cost center and account. I'll pick my equipment item, and then I'll pick my task and interval, and this was the one we were looking at. Alright, at this point I can use my parts groups to filter for the part I need, or I can use the search part screen. And I know it's oil I'm looking for, so I'll type in oil, search, and I have oil here, so I'll use that. Okay, how much? Well, we'll say 1, and this is gallons. I'll click Save, and so now what's happened is I've linked 1 gallon of this oil to this PM. So my options are, I can essentially just have that printed on the PM list, or I can have the program manually draw that down, or I should say automatically draw that down from stock. Well, what tells the program what to do is this menu item here. Now if we check this, it will deactivate the automatic usage. It'll still list the part on the PM list, but it won't automatically draw it down from stock. Okay, so let's see what happens if I close out this PM. The program went ahead and used that part against it. And it gave us some information about the part. Okay, let's take a look at what this looks like on the PM list. And we find that particular item Well, I could look through, I've got 5 pages here, but let me just type in blower. Maybe that'll get me there quicker. And there's our details for it, and there's our part that we added. Okay, so you can see that it ended up on the PM list, and it also brought down from stock. Now, what if it's been drawn down from stock, but we decide, you know what, we don't need to use it after all? We can go to our parts usage screen, and we can always undo things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and sort this by date, bringing the most current date to the top so I can get to it easily. And there is the part we used. Okay, it's showing there's 4 available. All we'd have to do to eliminate this link from this particular instance of closing the PM would be to delete this record. That would have put that 1 gallon back into stock. Now that's not going to remove the link. So next time the PM's closed, the link will still be there. That would be done from the parts usage screen. Okay, so that's how you link parts to a PM. One other more advanced option in the PM screen is to embed PMs into a work order. Now, we talked about the difference between work orders and PMs in the first video on this series. So why would we want to do this? Well, maybe you want to have the program go ahead and close out all of these PMs at once when you close the work order. That would be one reason why you might want to do it. Maybe you want everything to show up in the actual work order format and not necessarily in the PM format, but you'd like to manage your PMs from here. That might be another reason. So how do we do that? We select the rows we want to include, and before we can do this, we need to make sure we've filtered by 1 equipment item. The reason for that is the program's going to create 1 work order that's going to have 1 equipment item on it. So the work orders by definition will be 1 equipment and 1 task. In this case, we're going to embed the tasks into the work order details. So I'll right click, and I could pick either link each selected PM to a separate work order, in which case the program would create 4 new work orders, or we can embed them all into 1 work order. Okay, so the program created this work order 307 as indicated here. Let me drag this over so we can look at it. And our default task is set to see linked PMs below, and there's the PMs we linked. It also included the details that were on the PMs. And when we close this work order, it will close out all these PMs.